Pod Jak'd. That's Pod Jak'd. Episode whatever. Freedom of speech is dead. It's everywhere. It's in YouTube. It's in comedy. Freedom of speech is gone. I'm actually embarrassed to be an American. I'm actually embarrassed the fact that we used this amendment called freedom of speech. The fact that we still have it when clearly we don't have freedom of speech. If we have freedom of speech, why are people getting fired for their jobs? Why are people getting labeled as racist? And why are comedians being blacklisted from clubs and not be able to perform certain places because they just have different viewpoints? We'll talk about a few things. Of course, you guys know every creator is talking about the whole YouTube apocalypse, December the 10th. As far as this channel goes, by the way, I want to say one thing. I forgot to mention this in the intro. I want to apologize to a few people. I don't know their names. I'm not going to say their names. But YouTube does this thing now. And if you're a creator on YouTube, you might want to pay attention to this. If you go to your creator studio, you click on your name on the top right, go to creator studio, and I think you go to community. When you get to your main page, they have a bunch of comments in review. Because if you use naughty words, if you left a comment on my channel the last couple weeks with naughty words in it, I use that term because that's the PC. Naughty words. Can't say naughty. If you have naughty words in your title, in your comment, YouTube won't delete it. They're put it under review, which means I have to approve it. So I saw like 3 pages of comments I had to approve from various videos of mine because YouTube decided to censor it and put it on the review. And I was like, what the fuck? I was like, fuck, man. I wanted these comments on my channel, but I have to approve it. So I have to do that every couple of days. And I just forget because I don't really go on my MGTOW channel. I go on once a day, usually after work, just to check the main comments I get. And then that's about it. Unless I'm uploading a video, I get right off. I don't check my email. I don't really spend a lot of time on the MGTOW channel unless I'm uploading something or reading something. So I apologize if your comment wasn't approved, but it is now. So if you didn't see it, then I didn't delete it or anything. It was YouTube. But getting back to YouTube, the YouTube apocalypse, December the 10th, as you guys know, everyone's worried. YouTube is going to be either deleting lots of channels, all the channels that don't make them any money, or it could just be a threat to scare people. And if they're doing that, they're doing a good job. Or they're going to start fining people because they got sued for a bunch of money for using, stealing kids' information or something. And the FCC got involved. It's a whole thing. And as far as for those who don't know, I have 4 channels. And the reason why I have 4 channels is not because I'm that self-absorbed. I started out with 1 channel, and then it got striked for 6 months. So I created the backup channel. That's Jack. I started out with Jak'd, then Jack Comedy. Then I created this channel. This is the MGTOW channel. And then when my main channel got striked again, I decided to make another channel because I saved all my videos when I got my second strike a few months ago. And that's the Jak'd Network. So I have 4 channels, and it's a lot of work. My main 2 channels, in this channel especially, it's a lot of work to actually go through each video and then you have to click on your settings, go to advanced settings, click on enable age restriction. And that's a lot of work to do that for pages and pages of videos. Like on my main channel especially, I did like the first 2 pages and I was already tired. So I would have to do all that, then go to my second channel, do that, and then go to this channel, do that. And it would just take it would take hours and hours of just that. So I selected each channel is not for kids, but YouTube apocalypse is coming and nobody knows what's going to happen. And listen, if it's the end, then it's the end. We have World Star Hip Hop, we have Pornhub, and we have the BitChute and stuff, but YouTube's pretty awesome in its way. YouTube's pretty addictive. But if it goes away, it goes away. There's nothing you can do. So if this channel is gone in a week and a half, hey, thanks to everybody who's subscribed. thanks for all the people for watching, and that's all I can say. But the main reason why I'm recording this is because we all know I do stand-up, and I'm not obviously a talented guy. I mean, I think I've been told at times I could be funny. Every now and then people tell me, hey, good set and stuff. But regardless of that, there's an article that came out, and I found this from comedian Chris D'Elia. He's like a voice guy, and he's not for me. I remember watching his Comedy Central special years ago. He's like one of his guys. He does a lot of like voices. He does the Eminem impression and got really big and stuff. Well, he read an article, and I'll put the link in the description. And it's this Asian woman. A lot of the comedy clubs in New York City are actually booked by women, which I don't understand that. And, listen, I don't know what that's about, but it doesn't sound good. Because you know how it is. Every woman now is a feminist. It's more than ever. Every young woman out there, every generation is pampered. Like my generation was considered pampered. Now this new generation, they're considered really pampered. And it just goes on and on. But every fucking woman now is like a feminist. And then on top of that, in my comedy scene, one of the reasons why I stay away from the city, one of the reasons why I go to a shithole in the suburbs so I can say whatever I want, is because even the comics down in the city, they're all feminists. So if you do like jokes about women, calling them out and stuff, or you do a rape joke, or you call them, they won't say your name, but they're going to Facebook and go, oh, so many men. There's so many men out there, doing these rape jokes, and you guys are this and that, and oh, you guys need to stop. They're sitting there telling men what to say, like they're our mothers. It's like, first of all, you fucking cunt, you're not my mother. I can say whatever the fuck I want on stage, and that's one of the reasons why I'll probably never make it. And I don't care, because I feel good to go up there and just be a maniac. I love going on stage and being a fucking maniac, But this Asian woman in New York City, she runs one of these comedy clubs. I don't think it's a big club, but she runs shows. And her complaint was there was a few guys going on stage, and they were doing jokes about women. They were saying, oh, these bitches and these hoes. Now, here's the thing that we always said. How come feminists don't go after rappers? I mean, think about it. Rappers say the most fucked up things. Hey, bitch, you ain't getting no money. Suck my dick. You hoes ain't good for shit. I mean, that's one of the reasons why I like rap music. It's pretty much telling women they ain't shit. You hoes, you bitches, you ain't shit. Suck my dick. Fuck you in the pussy. All this other stuff. You won't hear feminists come after them because it's a cultural thing and they're scared. But if a comedian goes on stage, especially if he's white, they're not going to come out there. I guarantee you, as a white guy, then, of course, they're going to say some stuff. So, long story short, some guys were on stage saying these bitches and these hoes. And she went up on stage and said, that's it, everybody. Show's over. I'm giving everybody a full refund. That's it. And that was it. The show was over. Now, there was only 4 audience members. There was like 13 comics in the room. And it was like 4 audience members. I think one was a black guy. And I wonder what the black guy's reaction was. I wonder if he was offended by that. Because if you're a black guy and you're offended by a comedian saying bitches and hoes, I want to know, where did you grow up? I mean, did you grow up around all white people? Or did you grow up in a fucking feminist sorority? Where did you grow up that you're offended by that? Because I don't understand. But so she went on Twitter because she's a superhero now. You understand? Women do this. They're heroes. When they do shit like this, they're so proud of themselves. They have to go on Twitter and tell everybody about it. Like, so she goes on Twitter and she goes, I had to end the show tonight early. 3 or 4 guys came up there and kept saying these bitches and hoes, and I had enough of that. So I offered everybody a full refund. That no woman would want to sit through that. And I said to myself, this is the problem that I have with liberals. Now, if you are a liberal, I know there's different types of liberals. And I've said this before about liberals, and they get offended because I know liberals don't want to be lumped in with them. They're like, no, not all liberals are like that. Not all liberals are far left. Not all liberals are like that, where they censor freedom of speech and they're word Nazis and such. But when I think of shit like that, I go, this is why I don't like liberals. Because even if you don't want to be lumped in with them, I'm going to lump you in with them. This is probably one of the reasons why Trump won. Not to make this political. Because you want to speak for everybody. You wanted to. I don't speak for anybody. I speak for myself for the most part. I don't speak for men. But for MGTOW guys even, they don't agree with everything I say. They disagree with me all the time, and that's fine. I don't speak for you guys. I try to speak for myself. But regardless, she's pretty much trying to tell everybody how they should feel. Oh, no woman want to sit through that. Yeah, if a woman's like you, if a woman has no sense of humor, and if a woman is offended by everything, then of course no woman like you is going to want to sit through that. But if a woman is actually open-minded and has a sense of humor, she might say, okay, I don't like this. I'm not going to laugh at this stuff. But at the same time, I get it's comedy and these guys are trying to be funny. And I guarantee she waited for a white guy to go on stage. If it was a black guy, I guarantee she didn't do shit. She's an Asian woman. She's probably scared. And as soon as a white guy came on stage, she was like, okay, that's it. Show's over. So we have these unwritten rules to comedy. And I say all the time, why not put the rules? First of all, she has no business putting on comedy shows. She has no sense of humor, as you could tell. And she's one of these comics or comedy bookers that she expects everyone to think like her. She expects everyone to fucking think like her. And I'm going to speak for everybody. And I'm going to speak for women especially. Go, no woman want to sit through that. Well, what if a woman came on stage and started trashing men? I doubt you would stop the show. So we have these people out there that go, look, if you're white, don't make fun of any other race that's not yours. If you're a man, don't make fun of any woman or don't make fun of trans people. These are all these unwritten rules to comedy that just came out. And it's like, I don't follow that shit. If I think something's funny, I just fucking say it. I have jokes with the N-word in it. I say the full hard ER. And people aren't happy by it. And people are like, they don't want to put me on shows because they're afraid I'm going to say it. But I go, if I have a joke written for that word, I'm going to fucking say it. And I'll take whatever consequence that happens. If someone wants to stab me, beat me up, kill me, whatever happens, I'm not going to hold back because I got to try this joke out. I wrote it down. I'm going to try it out. You don't have to like it. You can tell your friends about it. You can go on Facebook and post about it. Go ahead, suck my dick. But I'm going to say it. If you don't like it, don't talk to me. I'm a comic. The thing about comedies, it used to be rock and roll. It used to be like, oh my God, this person on stage they're outrageous. Oh my God, I can't believe that they're saying this. Oh my God, I can't believe I'm laughing at this. This is crazy. That's what comedy used to be, the good old days. Now it's like, if people would rather see someone who's unfunny, either steal material or do some woke bullshit, because, she only wants to hear jokes about Trump. So if a bunch of comics went on stage and say, oh, Donald Trump, we don't like Donald Trump, then that's completely fine. But if you're a guy, you can't talk bad about women, you can't say bitches and hoes, unless there's a beat behind you. If you're rapping, hey, that's fine. But if you're just saying some jokes, like you're trying to be fun, like, oh, these bitches, oh, that's it, you're out. You're banned. All these unwritten rules, everybody wants to cut. So what happened to freedom of speech? Oh, so you're saying it's dead. Okay. So why don't you tell the guys next time, you're going to have a comedy show, and I don't even know the woman's name, but I'm going to say it. Some goofy Asian name. But why don't you tell guys next time, hey, listen, don't do any jokes about women. I'm offended by that. If I'm going to put you on this show, you can't do any negative jokes about women. Why don't you do that? If you have a comedy show and you want to put comics on, you have to be very specific what they can say. Like, I remember once I was doing open mic and this guy told me, hey man, don't do any jokes about Jews. I said, really? Jews? Why Jews? He said, well, because the guy is the owner, he was Jew, he's a Jewish guy, and a couple comedians came here last week and they were doing a lot of Jew jokes, he got offended. I said, well, can I do black jokes? He said, well, I guess. So I went on stage and I did some black jokes. He didn't care. I said, okay, you don't want me to trash the Jews, I won't trash the Jews. I'll trash somebody else. So This is where it's coming to. This is where it's coming to. So if you have rules, tell people. Say, look, don't say the C word. Don't say the N word. Don't do rape jokes. Don't do this. Why not? Put it in writing. I want to see it. Tell me what I can't say. Why don't you do comedy? Clearly you know what everybody wants to hear, but they won't do it. So it's easy just to sit back and collect the money and go, oh, I know what everybody wants to hear. I've been doing this. What does that mean? Anybody can do that. Anybody can just collect money at the door and go, I know. When I first started comedy, the place I do comedy at now, I used to get on shows, believe it or not. The shows weren't excited. And I remember I was a few months into comedy, and this guy I know who's a Jewish guy, he brought some Jewish friends. He said, hey, do that joke. I have a really brutal joke about Schindler's List when I say the word kike. He says, do that joke tonight. So I did it. And the comedy club owner was a woman, of course. She whipped her head around. So after the show, she kind of gave me a fake smile. And I said, hey, I could tell that I offended you with that joke. She said, oh my gosh, that was too bad. She was like, it wasn't just me, it was everybody. I said, yeah, but the guy told me over there to do it. He said, well, look, she was like, you can't just say what you want. So you have to kind of make people think about it. She was like, trust me, I know what I'm doing. I've been collecting money at the door for years, for like 20. I'm like, what does that mean? Because you collect money at the door, you know comedy? Why don't you do it then? If you've been listening to comedy for 20 years, I'm pretty sure you can put together a pretty good act. Why don't you do it? I mean, you're already collecting money. You can perform and make more money. Why don't you do it? And then also in New York City, you guys probably heard this on TMZ, whether you look at TMZ or not. A few months ago, Harvey Weinstein, this was about a month or two ago, he was in a restaurant. It's called The Stand in New York City, I believe, or one of those places. And he was just there with some friends. And this woman just starts freaking out. She wants to be here once again. Oh my God, there's a rapist here. You guys are just going to sit me a fucking 2 feet from a rapist? Is everybody okay with this? Oh my God. And he's just sitting there eating. He's not bothering anybody. He's not looking at you. He's not talking to you. I guarantee if that was Bill Cosby, she would have said nothing. She might have walked out, but I guarantee if it was Bill Cosby, she would have said nothing because he's a white guy. Oh, it was a white woman, of course. Oh, my God. So they kicked her out. Then an unfunny female comic goes on stage, and she goes, so I'm a comic. Oh, really? You have to tell people you're a comic? We have to tell people you're a comic, then you're probably not a comic. A magician never does that. A magician never goes on stage and goes, hey, everybody, I'm a magician. So she goes on stage and she goes, so I'm going to just address the elephant in the room. You know what I'm talking about. She's like, I didn't realize tonight I should have brought a rape wrestle. Something like that. It's really bad. And she got booed by a couple of his friends, Harvey Weinstein's friends. And she goes, oh my God, I can't believe you're booing me. And then the woman who said that, once again, she gained 100,000 Twitter followers. So she's famous now. She's going to start headlining all across the country. So this is just going to inspire more female feminist cunts, female feminist Nazi cunts to do this. All they're going to do, because once again, they're not funny, and they can't win over a crowd with humor, because they don't have it in them. Because let's be honest, women aren't funny. Women can be funny at times, but let's be honest, for the most part, they're not born with it. They're not at parties, and being at the center of attention. They don't need, guys have to be funny to try to get girls. Guys are usually just assholes with their buddies. Guys are just, not all the time. There are some really unfunny guys out there. But when it comes to comedy, it's not even the same. Like if a woman kills on stage, if you say, oh, this woman killed on stage. She didn't kill. She didn't kill the same way Bill Burr killed. She didn't kill the same way Dave Chappelle killed, where people are pounding a wall laughing, falling out their seats. She just did okay. And people are like, wow, she's so funny. Why? Because she didn't bomb. So this is going to inspire more female Nazi cunts out there to do this. All they're going to do is just call out guys and call out rapists and stuff because, and it's like that in my comedy scene. There was one woman, she added me years ago, and she's one of these Medicaid-looking cunts. Like, she's like, her father left her when she was a kid, and she's mad at men. She hates the world. She hates men because her father left her. Which is like, okay, that sucks, but don't blame me. I didn't do it. It's like if my mother left me as a kid, and then I hate women for other reasons, but I wouldn't hate women because of that. And she added me years ago. She adds everybody. And then within a month or two, I realized all she talks about on Facebook, she doesn't even post jokes. All she posts is on Facebook is, you men comics, and you guys need to stop doing this, and you guys, men need to stop. And I was like, what is she, my mother? Who the fuck are you? You added me. And on top of that, you guys remember there was a video happened years ago. This white chick was like a model. She's wearing a white t-shirt, walking around New York City all day. And she's being harassed by guys. She did it on purpose to show how guys harass her on a daily basis. She's got her big titties hanging out. And guys were like, yeah, baby, woo, oh yeah. And all that shit. Smile, baby. She was all over it. She was like, see, this is what it's like. I'm like, you're ugly. Who the fuck is Cat? She looks like a really old, ugly Jew on medication. And some guys say her body's alright. I don't care if she does have a good body. She's ugly. I'm not talking to the girl in the video. I'm talking about the feminist comic. And she was all over it. Like, oh my god, this is what it's like to be a woman. It's scary. This is why you shouldn't catcall girls. And I agree that men shouldn't catcall girls because it's not going to work. And I used to at least walk up to a woman and approach them to their face like a man. But she was like, oh my god, this is what it's like. And I was like, I deleted her right there. I said, get off my fucking Facebook. This is all you talk about? You don't have any jokes. You're not funny. You don't have an act. All you can talk about is what men do because you have no act. You have nothing. Without that, you would have nothing. She goes on stage and tells people she's a feminist. Oh, I'm a feminist, everybody. Oh, yeah, that's going to make the comedy show better. There's nothing more fun about that when a woman bitch she's a feminist. That's great. This is going to be a really funny show. Nothing sucks the fun everybody's dick than listening to a feminist. Great. That's what I want to hear when I'm sitting in the audience. So a woman blaming men for her problems. And one thing I want to say before I wrap this up is I don't want to become like that. I don't want to become. If you could take away anything from this episode, it's not just about comedy and YouTube. It's this. If you want to be MGTOW or whatever, don't be the fucking male version of a feminist. Because I thought to myself, am I like that? Am I the male version of a feminist? Am I one of those annoying feminazi cunts? And the reason why I'm not is because I don't blame women for my problems. I know some of you think I do. And if you listen to that video, one of my most popular videos, which is I could never forgive what women put me through. I say right in the beginning, I don't blame women for me being fat. I don't blame women for me living at home. I don't blame women the fact that I don't have friends. I don't blame them for any of that stuff. The only thing I blame them for is their own behavior, their lies, and their manipulation. That's what I call them out on. But I don't add women on my Facebook. I don't even use Facebook. I deleted Facebook years ago because there's nothing but fake-ass people that I've known for almost a decade. Even comedians who tell me they love me, but they want nothing to do with me. They don't want to hang out with me. They don't want to see me. So I got rid of everyone off my Facebook. I think I got like 4 people on my Facebook. And I rarely even go on there. Unless I want to check out a comedy thing, a comedy page I heard about or something. And the reason why I'm not like her is because I would never add a woman to my Facebook and go, you girls need to start doing this. You girls need to start doing that. Why do you girls, especially with female comics, imagine if I did that to female comics. You female comics need to start doing this. It would be like, oh, but they do it to us. So that's one of the reasons why I don't go down to the city, though. That's where all the action is. I don't want to be around that shit. I don't need to, if you want to go on Facebook and trash my comedy, fine. Why don't you have the balls to say my name? What are you scared of? You can trash my comedy and say, oh, this guy does rape jokes. So? And you talk about nothing but men and their behavior. So you're no different than me. You don't have any material. Why don't you say my name? Oh, you're scared. Yeah, exactly. You're a pussy. You're a cunt. That's why you're called a cunt, because that's what you are. A pussy cunt. Say my name. Go ahead. Nothing's going to happen to you, but just say it. Let people know. Yeah, you won't do that. And all she talks about is, Harvey Weinstein. When Louis C.K. came, she was all over it. She was like, oh, Louis C.K., all this stuff. Fuck you. So, end of the day, freedom of speech is dead. It's affected everything. It's going to affect YouTube, comedy, entertainment, everyday life. And I say we get rid of the amendment. I say we get rid of freedom of speech. Let's not call it that, because it's not. This is not freedom of speech. Let's get rid of it. And as I said, you can take away anything for this episode, no matter how angry you are. And I posted a video. The video is called "Being Angry at Women is Healthy," or something, or anger at women is healthy, something like that. No matter how angry you are at women, remember, don't be like them. Don't blame them for all your problems. And also, don't be like, you girls need to start doing this, and you girls need to start doing that. You know, you can call them out on stuff, but don't add them on Facebook and tell them, you know, don't fucking, because if you do that, they're going to win. You're pretty much being the feminist version. Even though MGTOW may be you know, I don't want to be like that. I don't want to be like that where I'm telling people how they should be and stuff. I just say my opinion. I put it out there. And if you don't want to listen, you don't have to listen. But I'm never going to be like her, the ugly feminist cut in my comedy scene. I'm never going to be like that. I'm never going to sit there and tell you women need to do this and you women need to do that and add women on my Facebook. And they mad at the world because her father left her. Because she was so ugly as a kid, probably. He walked away from that big Junos. That's your problem. It sucks. We all know if a woman grows up without a father, she's automatically going to be screwed up. But that's not my fault. I didn't do anything to you. So you want to go on Facebook and trash my comedy, as I said, at least say my name. Because your act, I've seen it before, it's not great either. And you're getting further in comedy than me, only because comedy is about being woke now. A lot of people are going to get further in comedy than me, because once again, I go against the grain. I'm an old school comic. I say the shit you're not supposed to say. All this stuff that's like, don't say, I say it. I say it to everybody's fucking face. And I'm not going to go anywhere, but I'm fearless. And I got a lot of balls and a lot of heart, just like, you know, everything else I do. And I'm not going to sit there and have people tell me, when it's freedom of speech, that I can't make fun of, you know, these races, I can't make fun of women, I can't do rape. I'll say whatever the hell I want. This is America, damn it. You understand? This is America. And it's all coming to an end, and you damn libtards are letting it happen. Trump won so easy, and I hope he wins again. Trump 2020! Trump 2020! Trump 2020! You all just got pod jacked.